So today's topic is going to be linear differential equations with constant coefficients. Now the nth order linear differential equations with constant coefficients is given by this equation: a naught d raised to ny dx raised to n plus a1 d raised to n minus 1 y divided by dx raised to n minus 1 plus and so on, plus a n minus 1 dy by dx plus a n y is equal to q. So over here these a naught, a1 and so on, all these are constants. That is why this is the linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Now over here, this right hand side, you can see that I have written q. So this q is nothing but a function of x. So we can even write it as qx. Q is a function of x. So sometimes this q will be equal to 0. If q is equal to 0, then this equation, I will just call it as equation 1 over here. Then equation 1 is the homogeneous LDE with constant coefficients. And if q is not equal to 0, then in that case this equation 1 is non-homogeneous LDE. Got it? So what we have seen? We have seen that the nth order linear differential equation with constant coefficients is a naught d raised to ny by dx raised to n plus a1 d raised to n minus y divided by dx raised to n minus 1 plus and so on up to a and y is equal to q, where a naught, a1 and so on up to a n are constants. Q is a function of x, so it can be written in this way. If q is 0, then the equation 1 is homogeneous LDE, and if q is not equal to 0, then the equation 1 is non-homogeneous LDE. Okay, now this equation which we have written over here, it can be simplified little bit. How it can be written is, in place of writing like this d raised to ny divided by dx raised to n, instead of writing like this, we will use one operator which is called as capital D, and this operator, it is equivalent to d raised to n dx raised to n, right? So depending upon the power, that is what is the power over here, that will be the power over here. So I can write like this. For example, let me just explain more. D is equal to d by dx, or d square is d2 by dx square. Like this way you can go on, and we can have d raised to n as d raised to n dx n. So what I am going to do is, in this equation I am going to substitute this d operator and rewrite the nth order linear differential equation with the constant coefficients. So now this equation can be written like this: a naught over here, see how I am writing, d raised to n plus a1, then we can write d raised to n minus 1 plus and so on plus up to the last term, that is an, and we are going to take the y like this outside and write this as q, which is of course a function of x. So we can write it as qx. So this is the form in which we have rewritten the nth order linear differential equations with constant coefficients by making use of the d operator, right? This makes it better for us when we are going to solve the linear differential equations with the constant coefficients. Okay, so I will further simplify this and I will just write this as this whole expression, this entire expression, I will just call it as f of capital D operated on by y is equal to q of x. So this becomes our simplified form of the nth order linear differential equation. So after this we have to see how to solve the nth order linear differential equation with the constant coefficients. So for this, the solution is given by finding out two things. Which two things? The general solution, which will all the complete solution, both are correct. You can say complete solution or general solution of this equation is given by y is equal to CF plus PI. So over here CF is nothing but complementary function and PI is nothing but particular integral. So the important question is now how to find the complementary function and how to find the particular integral for the given nth order linear differential equation. So we are going to go step by step. First we are going to see how to find the CF, then we are going to see the how to find the particular integral of the nth order linear differential equation with constant coefficients. So now we have compressed our linear differential equation, nth order linear differential equation with constant coefficients, and we had written it like this: f of dy is equal to qx. So the solution, as was mentioned earlier, is complementary function plus particular integral. So the question is now, first of all, how to find the complementary function. So for that we are defining something called auxiliary equation. This auxiliary equation is nothing but, in place of d we will just put m over here. We will form the equation f of m is equal to 0, and we will solve this equation and find the roots of that equation. Just as you normally find roots of the equation, in that same way you will find roots of the equation. So in that there will be some cases. In case 1, suppose the roots are real and distinct. In that case the complementary function will be given like this: c1 e raised to, I am calling these roots this way, let's say m1, m2. For example, m1, m2, you can go all the way up to mn. So I will just write, just for the sake of simplicity, I am taking two roots, m1 and m2. In that case the CF is given by e raised to m1x, c1 e raised to m1x plus c2 e raised to m2x. Now you can continue this also. Let us say you had a third root, then you would write c3 into e raised to m3x. Likewise you can go all the way up to cn e raised to mnx. So just for the sake of simplicity we are writing, let's say that there are two roots. Now case 2. In case 2 what can happen? The roots are real and repeated. That means m1 and m2 are the same. So m1 is equal to m2. So roots are real and they are repeated. In this case you can write the CF. CF is c1 plus c2x into e raised to m1x. That is the case when the roots are real and they are repeated. Okay, now in the third case, case 3, roots are imaginary. So in the case of imaginary roots, if alpha plus I beta is a root, then its conjugate is also a root of the equation. That means you will have both alpha plus I beta and alpha minus I beta will be the roots of the auxiliary equation. So in that particular case the CF is e raised to alpha x into bracket c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin beta x. That will be the CF in case the roots are imaginary. Now we can have a fourth case. In the fourth case what will happen? The roots are imaginary and at the same time they are repeated. So case number 4 we will just write. Case 4. Case 4. Roots are imaginary and they are repeated. In this case the CF is going to be, CF is e raised to alpha x into bracket you will write c1 plus c2x, okay, into cos beta x, right, plus C3 plus C4x into sine beta x. So in the case of the roots which are imaginary and they are also repeated, the CF is given as e raised to alpha x into bracket C1 plus C2x into cos beta x plus C3 plus C4x into sine beta x. Okay. So these are the 4 cases. So let us just have a brief recap of what are the 4 cases that we have seen. Firstly, case 1, roots are real and distinct. Then we have case 2 where roots are real and repeated. Then we have case 3 where roots are imaginary. Then we have case 4 where roots are imaginary and repeated. So we are seeing how to solve the nth order linear differential equation with constant coefficients. We have just seen about the complementary function. So we will take up, before moving to the now we will see the solution of the nth order linear differential equations. The equation which is given to us over here is d2x by dt square minus 4 dx by dt plus 13x is equal to 0. As you can recall that when the right hand side is 0, that time this is the homogeneous linear differential equation. For equations of such type, the solution of the equation is going to be the complementary function itself. So we are going to solve this for the complementary function, and the complementary function itself will be the required solution of this particular differential equation. So like it was discussed earlier, we are going to use the d operator. So what is the d operator? Once again, just to recap, d is d by dx. So we will rewrite the equation using d operator. So d square minus 4d plus 13 operated upon by x is equal to 0. As earlier it was discussed that the complete solution is given by y is equal to complementary function plus pi. In order to find CF, what we have to do? We have to solve the auxiliary equation. And the auxiliary equation is given by f of m is equal to 0. In this particular case, f of d is d square minus 4d plus 13. So the auxiliary equation is going to be, implies auxiliary equation is m square minus 4m plus 13, and then we have to solve this auxiliary equation. So as usual, you are going to use the usual rules which are in force for solving such equations. This is a quadratic equation. So m is equal to, once you solve this, you are going to get the imaginary roots. So if you recall the formula for finding out the solution of the quadratic equation, minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So you are going to use this formula, where of course you know what is a, b and c. A is the coefficient of m square, b is the coefficient of m, and c is the 13, that is the constant term. So in this case implies m is equal to 2 plus or minus 3i. Once you substitute these values over here, a is 1, b is minus 4, and c is 13. So once you solve this, you will get m is equal to 2 plus or minus 3i. Now what type of root is this? We had seen 4 cases. So out of those 4 cases, this particular root, it belongs to case 4. Case 4 is what? That roots are imaginary. So you can just go back to that section of the video and you can once again refer to, for case 4, what it was that we had said should be the CF if the roots are imaginary. So I will write it over here. So since the roots are imaginary, so that is why in this particular case the CF is nothing but, now our equation, remember the equation was given in the form of dx by dt, this form. That means we were using this dx by dt. So in this case the independent variable is t and the dependent variable is x. This is the independent variable and this is the dependent variable. So over here CF will now be given by CF is equal to, since roots are imaginary, we are using the formula for that particular case 4. So e raised to 2t into bracket c1 cos 3t plus c2 sin 3t. So you can just go back to that section in the video where we were discussing about roots and we had discussed the 4 cases, and you will see that we have used the formula for case number 4 and written the CF. So like I said before, since the RHS is 0, this is a homogeneous linear differential equation with constant coefficients. So that is why this CF itself is going to be the solution. And the required solution will be x is equal to e raised to 2t into bracket c1 cos 3t plus c2 sin 3t. So this is the required solution of the given differential equation. Similarly, we will see one more example where we will have to find out the solution of the given differential equation. So let's say that the second example we are saying, let's say the given equation is 4y plus y dash is equal to 0. This is the equation. So you can see that we can use different notations for representing the derivative. So over here this is the third order derivative, this is the second order derivative, and this is the first order derivative. So the same thing we can just write it like this now, 4d cube plus 4d square plus d operated on by y is equal to 0. Right? Because everybody, you may recall that when we write like this y dash, that time this is nothing but dy by dx, right? And this is nothing but dy. Similarly, if we are writing like this y double dash, then this is nothing but d2y by dx square, and this is in operator notation d square y. So like this way I have simplified this particular equation and I have written like this. Okay, now we will continue. We have to find the solution. So to find the solution, once again what we are doing, we are just solving the auxiliary equation. So now what we will do is we will just solve this. So auxiliary equation is, in this particular case, now I can write like this, 4m cube plus 4m square plus m is equal to 0. So this equation we have to solve. So I can simplify this, take m common, plus 4m plus 1 is equal to 0. This is what I can do. Now I have to solve both these. So obviously first one, m is equal to 0, from this equation m is equal to 0. Then I have to solve the second part. 4m square plus 4m plus 1 is equal to 0. So once again, this is a quadratic equation. So if you solve this equation, then what you will get from here, you will get m is equal to minus 1/2 and minus 1/2. That means you will get that the roots are repeated. So what we have got in this case, we have got one real and distinct root, and we have got two repeated roots. So we are going to apply both the formulas. For case 1, we will use this one, and this is case 2. This is real and distinct root, and this is the real and repeated root. So by using those, again you have to rewind the video and go back for the 4 cases. So CF is, now first for the real and distinct root, C1 e raised to 0x plus, now for the repeated root, C2 plus C3x into e raised to minus half x, means minus x by 2. Now e raised to 0x is nothing but 1. So finally we can write the solution of the given differential equation as y is equal to, this part is 1, so means e raised to 0x is 1, so we will write C1 plus C2 plus C3x into e raised to minus x by 2. So like this way what we have done, we have solved the equation by, first we have found the auxiliary equation, then found the roots, then after finding out the roots, we have identified the type of roots, and after identifying the types of root, then we have found out the solution to the given differential equation. Now we will see the third example. You can see the question is written over here. Once again I am going to simplify it by using d operator. Now you are familiar with that notation. So d raised to 4 plus 8d square, then plus 16y is equal to 0. In this case, the auxiliary equation is m raised to 4 plus 8m square plus 16 is equal to 0. Obviously this equation is going to have 4 roots. So we will solve this equation to find those 4 roots. So implies over here m square plus 4 whole square is equal to 0. So this is a perfect square, very easy to make out. So m square plus 4 whole square is equal to 0. So this implies that I can just further simplify like this and write it, m square plus 4 into m square plus 4 is equal to 0. And then from this, m square is equal to 4 means m square is equal to minus 4 from the first part, and again from this part m square is equal to minus 4. So therefore what happens? This implies that m is equal to plus or minus 2i. Root of minus 1 is I, as everybody will know. So again m is equal to plus or minus 2i. So what type of roots are these? Roots are repeated and imaginary. So if roots are repeated and imaginary, then now this becomes case 4. Remember we have 4 cases. Case 1, roots are real and distinct. Case 2, roots are real and repeated. Case 3, roots are imaginary. And case 4, roots are repeated and imaginary. So in this particular case, once again you can rewind the video and go back and check the case. CF is, so over here before writing the CF, let me just explain the root part. So root part is alpha plus or minus I beta, like this. So real part is alpha, imaginary part coefficient is beta over here. So in this particular case, our root is plus or minus 2i. So in this particular case, alpha is equal to 0 and beta is equal to 2. So if the roots are real, if the roots are imaginary and repeated, then the CF is given by, CF is e raised to 0x into bracket c1 plus c2x into cos 2x, okay, plus again e raised to 0x into bracket c3 plus c4x into sine 2x. So this is going to be equal to final answer. Final answer we will just write y is equal to c1 plus c2x into cos 2x plus c3 plus c4x into sine 2x, and that is going to be our final answer for this particular question.